Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. We got a little show from Luca there. This is the team we're using today for the next part of this quest. We have Jingliu on top there, Luca as like a sub DPS plus support. He will give support in terms of stuff and actually be able to do damage as well. Bronya as like our usual support and Locha as our healer. The only thing I'm going to miss kind of like about like this formation kind of is Hanya. But this is just like a team that we're using for today, and then we will like, you know, create more teams with Luca and Jingliu on separate teams and stuff like this. There's still other characters I want to level, but I do want to give some more praise to Honkai Star Rail before we go any further in this quest. And it's not just for the story that they were able to put on here with the IBC, which I actually think is a fantastic story. It's also the fact that I think that I leveled up Jingliu and Luca last night with full relics, with all traces leveled to the point that you can get them to, which their light cones fully leveled to the place that you can get them to. Oh, we're gonna be talking to Serval, great. It took me, I would say it took me like a little over half an hour. Like, it was actually crazy how little effort it took to level up 2 characters to the point that I need them. And now that they're at this point, I want to get every single character I want to level to like this point, and then I will like upgrade my world level. Because I think then it'll be easier then to like, you know, level up individual characters there once like they're already leveled up to a certain point. But yeah, let's go talk to Serval, I guess. I actually really love this, by the way. I said this last time as well, that like, I think, you know, sometimes stories will make you feel uncomfortable. They really will. I'm watching shows, like, I always like, we watch shows in our daily life and like, you know, we binge watch them, you know, and all the time, that make you feel, you know, uncomfortable and weird, and sometimes that's the way things happen, and I felt very, like, helpless in this quest. I felt very helpless, like I can't, or at least, like, I feel very, like, powerless is probably the best way to put it. I feel very powerless, and I think that's the intention. It's meant to show how, like, powerful the IPC is, and how, like, scary they can be, and how much of a reach they have, and how much of, like, a dependence that a lot of people have on them as well. It's a very scary thing. But also they're you know, trying to show other things as well. But I do think that like the ending of the last part we did, where we had Bronya being very, you know, amazing and being like everyone should get an opinion, and I 100% agree. This is not a decision that is just Bronya's. But let's talk to Serval.
Well, look who we have here. You and Marge paying us a visit. What's the occasion?
We need your opinion on an important matter. The music is fantastic here, by the way, but obviously, like, if it is a little bit louder than the voices, I think some places, maybe in Belobog is just the only place where you might need to turn down the music a little bit, but just let me know if I do.
Uh-oh, sounds like something serious is happening. You'd better fill me in.
A little bit serious, yeah. A lot serious. You tell Serval about the IPC debt and the choice facing Bronya.
What? How is that possible? I need a moment to wrap my head around this.
It's a lot.
Serval, we're racing against the clock. No time for head wrapping.
This is what's awful. There should be like literally like weeks of. I know like they're in a time crunch. 100%. It's not Bronya's fault, but there should be like weeks of like deliberation, months of deliberation, information. People, you know, even like debating this stuff. You know what I mean? It should be like a whole thing. It should be a whole thing. You know, it's awful that it has to go down this way. It should be like a whole like as I said, like a whole 10-month campaign to figure out what we were gonna do here. You know?
It's okay. I've thought it through. If it were up to me, I'd sign the contract.
Serval would sign it.
What? Hold on. Are you serious? I thought you'd be against it for sure.
Surprised? My reasons are pretty simple.
Which are?
Signing this contract would mean we no longer have to worry about surviving.
Okay.
For most of the residents here, especially those in the underworld, that would be more than enough to persuade them. As for working for the company, people need to work no matter where they are, right? If the IPC tries to take too many liberties, we can always rise up against them.
Right. And like, it's tough obviously because I get what Serval is saying 100%. We talked about this last time, like how like some people would choose survival, and like, you know, how looking at different perspectives and stuff like this as well, and like, you know, we want people to live and things like this. But like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I just don't trust the IPC fully with this. Now, it's not that I don't trust Topaz. I don't know Topaz. But I do think Topaz is genuinely trying to make sure that people survive and live. I do think that 100%. But just a very weird situation.
You know, I've always longed for the stars since I was a child, which is why I devoted myself to science and the studying of the Stellaron. If someone told me that I could do whatever research I wanted with only a small price to pay, I probably wouldn't hesitate.
I see. I suppose that makes sense.
So she's saying it's people actually being able to live will get the money for the refunding for all this stuff as well, and like you'll be able to fund this whole operation and everything will be like better in that way. So at least there's that.
Thanks for your input. I'll make a note of your opinion.
Right. Oh, so see, I just noticed on there as well on the UI. Look at that, agree to the IPC's proposal. There's what you okay. So that's the way they're doing this. So you have to talk to 3 people. So are we gonna get to talk to people in the underworld as well? Because I do think that, like, we should get to talk to like Seele and stuff like that as well, and Natasha and some other characters as well. I mean, even like Hook, like even kids should have a say. You know what I mean? Everyone should have a feeling on stuff.
We meet again. How have you two been?
How have you been? We've been okay.
That look on your face tells me something's wrong. I hope it's nothing too serious.
I'm sorry for not giving like cause you never don't notice. Sometimes I don't notice like I'm silent until like an edit, but like not that I was silent, but like I like again I'm not here to, and I hope this makes sense. Like why we can talk about like Serval's opinion but as I said we get what Serval is saying. But really, I just kind of want to let them speak their opinion, and then oh yeah, and on Serval's opinion there, just if you want me to give my take on what she's saying, I like it's more of just like me understanding what she's saying. She doesn't want, she's comparing it to the idea of like you can do whatever you want, but there's like a price to pay as well. I don't like the idea of being like to me this debt is already wrong. It's wrong. But I think what Serval is saying, I guess now, is that like maybe like I get a reading between the lines as well, is that like, well, it's either that or we get gutted. Which is difficult because like I think like I you guys know my stance. I fully disagree with the idea of the way the IPC is going about this 100%. We need your opinion on an important matter.
I'm serious. I'm all ears.
Hearing about this must be crazy.
Really? You better not be making things up.
We're not. We're generally not.
I wish it were made up. Unfortunately, it's all true.
Yeah.
We don't have much time, Pela. Bronya wants to get everyone's opinion.
Oh my god, everyone should have months to think about this.
You're telling me I have to make this huge decision on the spot? At least give me a few seconds to think it over.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've got it. If it were up to me, I'd
So even though they agree
to the IPC's conditions. Huh. Okay. Any particular
I want to hear all the
reason?
reasons, 100%. Everyone like deserves to have their say here, you know?
I've looked at some of the climate reports, and based on the data I've seen, it'll take 3 or 4 more generations for the snow to completely subside.
So, at least, like at most, like max for 400 years, right? We're looking at the maximum if you're talking about like what could be a maximum of a generation. If you're talking about actual life expectancy, I don't know what it's like in Belobog, but like you're talking about then like what, 360 years at least, maybe? Am I wrong?
And that's assuming no other disasters occur. I care more about those in the present than a future I can't be sure of. If the IPC is able to bring about immediate change, then I think that's a price well worth paying.
Dear Lord, man.
Building a better world for future generations sounds great, right? But is it any fun for the engineers and architects who are directly involved in such a pursuit? I see. So compared to a distant and uncertain future, what you really care about is making sure the people around you have a good life.
Working on the now is what Pela is saying.
Thanks for your input. I'll make a note of your opinion.
So that's another one for the the proposal as well. Yeah, like my take on that as well is that, like, you know, like first of all, I think it's very interesting that we're having like people like, you know, that we have very close to us as well, kind of like, you know, give their takes. Serval's take is that, like, you know, we get in her eyes, it's a small price to pay to be able to like actually do stuff about our future. And yes, like that's the thing. It's like, you know, in that way, it's like, yeah, things are gonna be rebuilt. So we're gonna have like a better life now. And what Pela's saying is that as well. It's like we'll have a better life now. And at least like we'll know we'll have like a help rebuilding this stuff, and there'll be stuff like for people right now. But right now we have no idea how things are going to go in the future, because if it takes 4 generations for the ice to truly melt, then that means 4 generations still of a harsh climate and, you know, making sure that mining is always like on top. And you don't know what's going to happen 200 years from now, let alone 360 or 400 years from now. So I think that's what they're expressing there as well. Yeah. And again, like, I think I've already said, like, oh, it's somewhere else. Oh, my, Silverman Guards? Okay. I think I've already said, like, already, to you guys that, like, I don't, like, have this hatred for Topaz as a character. You know what I mean? I understand that, like, 110% beyond a shadow of a doubt, I very much believe that Topaz 100% understands that once the IPC has its claws in something, it's not taking them out. And she is trying her best to show what value this place has so it doesn't get gutted. Like I guess some soldiers, I guess?
Is that the Trailblazers? It's been a while. I didn't think you'd be back in Belobog so soon.
I hope we get to talk to people in the underworld. I'd say we will, right? Because if we're talking to like soldiers, then we definitely get to talk to people in the underworld, right?
It's been pretty hectic in the city lately. All these people dressed in black suddenly showed up, and
yeah,
even the Silvermane guards have had trouble dealing with
and
them.
That's what shows, like, here's, that shows that Topaz is like slightly different from the way the IPC operates in a way, because like because as I said, if you're a member of an organization and you're like going in and strong arming people and hurting people, that means it's been okay before. It may not have been under Topaz, but that means the IPC is okay with that, because there's no way they don't know about that stuff happening. We need your opinion on an important matter.
You need my opinion? I'm happy to help.
It's a very, very, very rough situation, isn't it? It's very rough. Again, like I said, the writing in this game, it's not meant to feel good.
It's worse than I imagined. The Madam Guardian must be under a lot of pressure.
Yep.
Is there really nothing we can do to assist her?
We're here to gather everyone's opinion on the matter. I know this is a little sudden, but we're running out of time. What's your take?
Why, I'd refuse the contract,
Wow.
of course.
There we go.
There is no room for compromise. Just look at them. Arrogant, stomping around here as if they own the place. How can such people be trusted? Who's to say they won't breach the contract?
This is also such a fair point to make, right? And that's why I think it's so interesting about like having all these varied opinions. Because while obviously, like, you know, you guys know my opinion on like the way the IPC has carried this out, but I'm not gonna, as I said, I'm not gonna shame Serval or Pela for agreeing, just like I wouldn't shame anyone for disagreeing, because I think, again, it comes from a place of people who live here and are worried about like suffering for another few years, who've already gone through a lot of suffering and probably want to end that suffering as soon as possible. But then also from the perspective of the soldier, it's also like, well, and you can see their point. It's like, well, they're doing all this stuff now. What's to stop them from doing stuff when we sign an official contract?
Faced with this sort of coercion, we must resist them with all our might. Surrendering is not an
And again,
option.
we can make the argument that Topaz is not the one doing that, but 100% it is IPC people who have, you know, come in here and scared people. There's people terrified. There's people being strong-armed. This is a fact.
You must warn the Madam Guardian not to allow herself to fall into their trap.
A soldier's perspective is always valuable, Dunn.
Well, I mean, in this case, 100%, because these are the guys that were like dying on the front lines constantly for what was happening with the Celeron stuff, you know?
Thanks for your input. I'll make a note of your
At least that's what,
opinion.
you know, like, and not what me saying at least, that's what Shepard was saying. Like, he saw so many soldiers die during this whole thing.
Did we miss anyone in the overworld? I think we asked just about everyone we needed to.
Well, we got the perspective of someone who works with, who's not a member of any, like, official organization, who works on the ground floor, who knows people, who has fought to save Belobog as well. We got the opinion of someone who like works with kids, who is someone who like puts their best foot forward for the people of the present. She like teaches people, but also someone who is in an official capacity as well. And we got to talk to a soldier who was one of the people that was fighting during the Celeron crisis. Again, this game is so well written, giving us 3 people I feel like that do represent like at least a core part of like some parts of the overworld society, you know.
From what I've gathered, it seems like most people in the overworld are leaning towards.
Yeah, it's
signing
like
the IPC's
a 2 to 1.
We'd better hurry to the underworld and see what Natasha and Seele
Yep.
make of it all.
And I hope again, everyone deserves to have their say because everyone was going through the crisis. But like, I hope you guys understand when I say that like 100%, the people of the underworld, like, you know, I'll be listening with like my ears open and my hands cupped over my ears so I can really hear what they're saying. And that's not downplaying Serval's opinion or a soldier's opinion. Like we said, exactly why they're here. It's just that again, like the people of the underworld just got their freedom again. Just back to the surface. Now they're going to be told that they're going to be like signing another contract in some way. Especially now that they've just seen the IPC come in and try to strong arm and take their mining facility away from them. Their opinions are valuable as heck in this situation, 110%. So I'm guessing this is like Seele, and this is going to be Natasha. But we need to talk to 3 people in the underworld, so I wonder who we're going to be talking to.
Find somewhere to put my
Oh, that's not Seele, okay. But honestly, though, another great choice for someone to talk to, honestly.
None other than the saviors of Belobog.
How are you, Oleg?
To what do I owe the pleasure? To be honest, I'm surprised you even remembered an old geezer like
How could you forget? You're like the most designed NPC in history.
But I can tell by the look on your faces you're probably not dropping by to say hi.
We need your opinion on an important matter.
Let me guess. Something to do with these unruly people in black showing up everywhere? Well, ask away. It just so happens I'm curious about them myself. Maybe I can be of some help.
Yep, tell him about the situation. It's gonna be super interesting to hear what I have no idea what way Oleg could go because Oleg, has like a very interesting view on the world sometimes too.
That's a tricky situation, all right. A lot for anyone to handle, let alone someone as
It is a
young
law.
as Lady Bronya.
It's a whole law.
Mr. Oleg, out of all the people we know in Belobog, you have the most life experience. What do you think we should do?
Want to hear the truth? I'm afraid great ambitions and lofty plans no longer hold much appeal for an old-timer like me.
Okay.
If this IPC does indeed possess the magical power to restore Belobog back to its former self overnight, then I think the answer is clear. Have you considered the opposite? What about if we refuse? The reconstruction plan already sounds like an endless endeavor. And with the added burden of a massive debt, well, is that something we can manage on our own?
Well, the debt is wrong in the first place. You know what I mean? The way they packed that interest onto it, the way that they nulled it, I do agree that it's wrong in the first place. But again, we're talking about a math equation that's already wrong on the top. You still have to finish the math equation, and you can still get points for finishing that math equation. You know what I mean? Get scores and percentages, I suppose you would call it.
What worries me the most is how Lady Bronya will handle the backlash from her people. Will she be able to withstand the criticism? Is she prepared to carry the weight of a tarnished reputation for years to come?
And this happens with leadership, right? Like, Bronya, the last Supreme Guardian. What the hell? What a way to say it. I think she can handle a little criticism, but there's not gonna be a little, right? I wouldn't say either of these. So I'm just gonna say Eddie.
Huh. I guess I never looked at it from that angle. I wouldn't wish that title on anyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for your thoughts, Mr. Oleg. Another vote for the 4 pile.
Yeah, like, and I will not, I've thought about this, and this is one of those situations that, like, guys, it's like, when I make a decision in a game, like, I will look at it from every single perspective I can, and that's why, like, even people who are like, I get what Oleg is saying. What Oleg is saying is that, like, because he's seen through so much in life, he doesn't want to go through another, or see everyone go through another bout of uncertainty, as he's gone through uncertainty now for his entire life. In terms of, what he's had to fight for, the mining stuff. And now he's saying, like, I don't want to have people to go through the same kind of feeling while also having a debt over their head. And again, like you said, it's like a math equation. The first part of the math equation is wrong. Yeah, and I understand where Oleg is, is coming from, right? Even though I feel like the debt thing is like, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, it's the IPC. It doesn't matter if the debt thing is wrong. They're imposing it. It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, like the guy who like is planning to like just beat me up today isn't, like, you know, he's not going to stop. So we have to find a way to make it something out of this situation, you know? It's really rough. It's a really like interesting way of writing this though, because I'm glued to my like glued to the screen, thinking about what's gonna happen.
What brings you two to the underworld? And why the long face?
We need your opinion on an important matter.
Seems a little out of the blue, but since you came all this way, it must be urgent. Go ahead.
You tell Natasha about the IPC debt and the choice facing Bronya.
That is a lot of information to take in. Sorry, both of you. I know you're in a hurry, but I need a moment to think.
Please, take a moment.
No stress, Nat. Just tell us what you really
Please,
think.
this is a life-changing decision.
I've thought about it, and... well, if I were Bronya, I wouldn't sign it.
There we go.
I won't deny the offer on the table is a very tempting one. And if we refuse, Belobog will not only have the burden of a huge debt, we may also incite the wrath of a very powerful force.
But you see, that's what a problem with this is, and the problem with the IPC I have is that like there's this idea that like, you know, everyone knows the IPC is definitely terrifying, and like it's like, oh yeah, if we will have a debt and we'll be an enemy of the IPC. If they're that big of a part of the economy, then the economy is dumb. You know, it's effed. It really is. The fact that like we have to be afraid of this water organization means things are effed.
But even so, a quote I read back in school came to me just now. Those who are willing to give up freedom for security will end up with neither.
Wow, Natasha. And I wonder if this quote is like, and again, just reading in my own interpretation, the idea of like, yes, you're giving up, you're no longer, if you give up your freedom, you won't have freedom. If you try to give up freedom for security, then at any moment that freedom, that security can be taken away because you don't have freedom to choose like whether you have security or not.
Living in the underworld has taught me that this phrase is true. I'd rather trek through the frigid snow plains than live in a beautiful cage.
This is why I love like underworld people so much, right? Because like they have this like mentality, like not all underworld people, everyone's different, but like Natasha at least, like, you know, a lot of them have this mentality of like, I will go through the hells and back before I kneel, you know?
Wow, that's a pretty convincing.
And I know, and again, it's like, this is why it's so well written. Like, listening to everyone is such an interesting
Another
thing.
vote for the against pile. Thanks for your insight, Nat.
You know what I mean? Like, why it's so interesting to me is that, like we had this, like, I can look at Oleg's perspective and be like, oh, I understand what he's saying. He's gone through so much already. He doesn't want anyone to go through that uncertainty as well, right? And then at the same time, it's like what Natasha said is like so powerful and true as well, which is like, yes, they're going to give up their freedom, and now they're going to be a part of the IPC, which again, I will never agree with any other company or organization owning a place that isn't theirs. Never, ever, right? That's my stance on it. Never, ever. The only moral way to do this would be then for them to back off and leave. That's the only moral way to deal with this. But what Natasha is saying is that, like, if you give up your freedom for supposed security, then at that point you have no guarantees that you actually have security, because at any point 10 years from now they can take away that security. You don't have the freedom to choose that. This is so interestingly written. This is so wait, so maybe it's not Seele we're talking to? Is Seele around the place? I definitely want Seele's opinion. Let's take a gander around to see if Seele's around here. There has to be like optional conversations or something, right? Because again, by the way, Clara and Svarog, important too, 100%. Not saying they're not, but I thought we would talk to Seele. But I guess Seele might share the same opinions as Natasha. Wait, where would Rivertown? Where would Seele usually be? She would be like, sometimes she's in that the camp area, I guess. This is it, isn't it? That's the vagrant shelter. Yeah, sometimes she's around here. There she is. Let's see if she has anything to say about it.
The underworld yearns for freedom.
Care to chat? We already talked about this stuff as well. Okay, I guess like there's no optional conversation. That's fine. I guess like, you know, the assumption is that like Seele maybe, or maybe she'll talk to us later. I don't know, but like I assume that Seele would feel the same way as Natasha about this stuff as well. But she'd probably say it in different words as well. You know, I guess so. This is so interesting to me. This is such an interesting quest. Like this is one of the most like stomach churning quests I've been a part of in this game. And probably the most stomach churning quest I've been a part of. Honestly. How are you doing, Clara?
Miss March, big sister.
Big sister.
What brings you to the underworld?
Hey there, Clara. Is Svarog not around?
Mr. Svarog went out for a walk with a lady called Topaz.
Wow, yeah, about the stuff with the robots, right? Because that's what happened. We saw the cutscene with Japard there.
What? Topaz? Do you know where they went?
I'm not sure, but Mr. Svarog promised he'd be back soon.
What now? Svarog's super logical. We should definitely get his opinion.
Can I say that sometimes, like, at least Clara's opinion is just as important, yeah, 100%. Not that March isn't saying that.
Don Hung's always saying that Clara's
Oh.
really insightful for her age.
You can just imagine Don Hung saying that, like, she's very insightful, you know? Like, it's really sweet. But, yeah, I think sometimes, like, we've learned this before. The Svarog is great, and he's such a caring, robot, right? But also at the same time, having, like, an ultra-logical approach to things sometimes isn't always the best option, I feel like. Because, like, we learned already that with Svarog, he can look at variables of things that could happen. But we've already learned that, like, we had to go against those variables in order to make a better life for ourselves here too. You know what I mean? It's honestly like it's not always about pure numbers, you know?
Miss March, do you want to ask me something?
And this again, look what they're doing here. We have some, again, if you look at all the different choices we have here of people to talk to. We had Oleg, who is someone who like led the resistance in a lot of ways and like has lived through so many years. You have Natasha, who has been like on the front lines of this stuff and has been helping people, has seen people be cured, has seen truly the horrors of what would happen in the underworld and the price of not having freedom. And then we have someone like Clara, who's not only someone who like deals with like Svarog and has seen a lot of stuff herself, but also is someone who like is responsible for a lot of care of the robots on this planet, but is also a kid. You know what I mean? It's really interesting the choices they are the people they give us to talk to, and they all make sense.
Complicated. I don't know what to say.
It's okay. I mean, it's very tough.
It's all right, Clara. No pressure. Just tell us how you feel
From the heart.
about it.
From the heart.
I think if we have a choice for the future, it should be everyone's decision.
I think she's legitimately saying that we should have like a referendum of some kind.
Because when I was playing with Hook, the moles, and the other kids, we talked about our dreams.
Oh, Clara.
Everyone has different dreams. If we accept Miss Topaz's offer, then doesn't that mean our dreams will never come true?
An interesting way to put it as well. Right? Because it's not true freedom, isn't it? It's not true freedom whatsoever. You don't know what's going to happen in the future with that as well. And it is there is going to be restrictions too.
Just taking away people's dreams like that. I don't know. It feels wrong.
And you can say that this is coming like this sweetheart of a gal is coming with this from like too much of like an emotional place about it. But like I think that like sometimes we should like when people say that it's like no, we should take emotions into it. We should take how people feel into consideration 110%. Like I never get that. It's like, well, you're being a bit too emotional. Yeah, it's an emotional situation. Why wouldn't we be? And I really feel like what Clara's saying here isn't wrong in a sense. Like if you have like a whole company controlling and owning basically an entire planet, and you know all this stuff here, then like you know there is going to be restrictions on what you can do and how you can progress through stuff, and like the decisions to get taken out of your hands. It changes everyone's future.
You're right. Children see the world as a place where anything is possible. Oh, just the thought of our lives being predestined from birth makes me shiver.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Thanks, Clara. Your thoughts mean a lot
Yep.
to us.
100%. I 110% it is so good what they've done with the story, giving all these different opinions. And again, it's one of those things where I don't agree with every
All that
opinion.
running around has worn me out.
This, and like also like I see even the opinions I disagree with, I see some like parts of it I agree with. But it's not only, I feel like when it comes to these types of things, it's not only just about agreeing and disagreeing, it's also the fact of like I am talking to someone, right? And they're telling me their concerns and fears and worries and all this stuff are all valid. You know what I mean? They all live here.
So, the final conclusion is...
Well, your opinion wouldn't be valid if you said something really horrific and horrible. I just want to make that clear. If you're a horrible person, your opinion is not valid.
The votes are
Sorry.
completely even. I don't know what to do. Both sides have really compelling arguments.
There's so many different perspectives. There's still one person left to ask. Only Bronya can make the call?
Oh, right. We haven't asked Seele.
That's what I was thinking.
She's probably still in the Great Mine
Yep.
helping the miners. Come on, let's get going.
This game thinks of everything, right? Because legitimately, like, you guys saw it. I was there. I was like, why are we asking Seele? What the hell? Yeah, it's like, of course she's going to be asked. Because I was thinking that maybe, like, you know, like, maybe we'll have the opinion of, she'll have the same opinion as Natasha. Because they do feel a lot of things, too. But, like, it would have been very strange to not have her give her opinion. You know? Someone who has, like, you know, been one of the MVPs of Belobog.
Back so soon? Any news?
I always love her design.
Are you feeling all right? You look a little uneasy.
It's an uneasy thing. We need your opinion on an important matter.
Important matter, huh? I can tell from your tone that this isn't gonna be a lighthearted chat.
No.
But I'm ready to hear it.
You tell Seele about the IPC and the choice facing Bronya.
I think I get it. At first, I thought it was just a few IPC ruffians overstepping their boundaries.
Yeah, you didn't think the future of Belobog was at stake, right?
Right, you're probably not going to think that, right?
Right. I need a little time to process
100%.
As it stands, the votes are even. Your opinion will make all the difference.
In that case, I abstain.
Abstain? For Seele?
What?
You have to... No, I would never say this to her. Like, your vote is extremely important, but, like, yeah. Like, honestly, like, it shouldn't be just down to her. Like, maybe we shouldn't have even told her that her choice was the important one, but, like, I feel like she deserves to know as well, right?
I thought about it. This responsibility rests on Bronya's shoulders, not mine.
You know what I mean? It would have been like, we would have gotten her truthful answer if we didn't tell her that she was the final choice. But I think that, like, it would be unfair to not tell her she's not the final choice. She isn't the final choice.
No matter the choice she makes, she has far greater foresight than I do. She can see the bigger picture more clearly than I can.
You know what this is? This is a choice. This is a vote. This is a vote in Bronya. You know what I mean? This is a vote for support and love for Bronya.
The vote is tied. If I were to give you my view, it would tip the scales and possibly impact
So interesting.
her final choice.
So interesting. The writing of this quest is insane.
I'll respect whatever decision she makes, but it's not my place to make it for her.
I would have thought that Seele would have been like and again she might be, but I think what's happening here is not that she's like supporting the IPC taking over this place. What she's saying is that like even if she disagrees with it, she doesn't want to take that choice away or make the choice for Bronya because she has a lot of trust in Bronya.
Understood, Seele. This is a difficult decision to make, and everyone feels differently about it. It's times like these that a leader must stand up and do what's needed.
Right. It's Bronya's decision. She knows what's at stake. She won't run away from her duty. I trust her wholeheartedly. If she asks you, just let her know my reasoning. She'll understand.
Well,
Very, very tough.
it's all in Bronya's hands now. She has to make the final call.
I think as well, Seele there, like 100%. I think if it wasn't Bronya, right? If it wasn't Bronya, I think Seele would have just said no. You know, no, F them. You know what I mean? F them. But I think even if she felt that way inside, she's not gonna say that because she wants Bronya to have that final say. She plays a crucial role in this world. I do trust her judgment, but obviously it's still no matter how good your judgment is, this is such a small time frame to make a decision like this.
Right? I'm glad Belobog has someone like her in charge. The time has come. Let's go fill her in. I'm curious to see how she's handling those Klapoth ministers.
It's kind of nuts how like we went from we were about to have a party and a festival, and now we're back here now doing this. But yeah, like look at all the stuff that they've given us in this quest, like all the conversations we have, all the people we've talked to. They all represent a different aspect of life, it feels, here in Belobog. And I think almost like, everyone gave like a very interesting answer where like I feel like I disagree with some parts and I agree with some parts. I think what Natasha said to me like resonated quite a bit, where it's like, you don't know what freedom you actually have anymore. If you don't have freedom, then you don't have security. You know what I mean? It's just simple. It's a very simple concept of like, yeah, like, you can be given like security in exchange for like, you're not able to decide anything anymore. You don't have like full control over this place. But again, that security can be revoked whenever. Topaz could like, like retire in 100 years. And then we no longer have a representative that like actually has our best interests in mind. You know what I mean? Like there's hundreds of years from now, we don't know what's happening there. We don't know what will happen there. It's a very complicated situation. And I actually haven't seen your comments in the last episode, so like, I wonder what the consensus was.
Whoa, the fort's
Yeah.
packed. I've never seen this many people here before. Oh, jeez, I can barely even hear myself
We're doomed.
think.
Do not twist my words. Slander the only language. If you guys are gonna talk like this, no, I'm joking. It's actually like I actually much prefer politicians and people screaming at each other than acting polite. You know what I mean? It's one of my least favorite things of politicians. Were like, you have to be polite and earnest and all this stuff. No, the fate of people's lives is at stake. Roar at each other. You should be passionate. You should be. Get angry. It's a terrifying situation.
March, you're back. So, what's the verdict? What do the people think?
It's a tie.
We talked to people in both the overworld and the underworld. The final result was a tie.
I see. I suppose everyone has their own way of seeing things. I can't say I'm surprised.
Sometimes I have the angle like this and it's like an isometric game, but yeah, you can do this.
What was Seele's perspective
And
on
of
the
course,
matter?
Bronya asked about Seele. She's behind you, whatever you decide.
I should have known. That sounds like Seele.
Yeah, she's so supportive of you.
Did you come to a conclusion with the ministers? Oh, it's so loud I can't tell what anyone's saying.
It's pretty much the same situation here. Neither party is willing to compromise.
And like, I feel like there's this. I feel like this. Even the deal with the IPC, it doesn't feel like a compromise. Really, it feels like again, like I said, like the choice of dangling over a cliff. You know what I mean?
The time has come.
And someone
to make
reaches a
decision.
hand out.
This chaos cannot be allowed to continue any longer.
And I feel like the analogy we could use is that like, oh, they're really getting out of hand. Oh,
All of you
Bronya.
know what to do.
Wait,
Wait,
Himeko.
I have something to say to the Supreme Guardian.
Wow.
But aren't you?
Wait, and she said she had to have a meeting with someone. Is this what it's to do with? By the way, Bronya like raising her voice like and her voice like that, and everyone stands up and like listens to her. I have chills, man. I have freaking chills. This whole scene. What is Himeko doing here?
Himeko? Wait, is that the real you or a hologram?
We're just excited to see our mother. Oh my god.
It's the real me, March. Real as
I love her so much. Wait, I wonder if like remember she said she had to like see something or do something. Was this what she had to do?
Miss Himeko from the Astral Express? It's an honor. Thank you for all your help in our previous
Oh my god.
campaign. Things might have turned out differently without your
Look how
support.
respected Himeko is.
If we had known of your arrival beforehand, the architects would have given you a proper welcome. I'm afraid that current circumstances are quite exceptional.
Himeko knows. Himeko clearly knows.
I understand,
Yeah.
Miss Bronya. No need to explain. Your city is facing immense difficulties. My intention is simply to ensure that you have all the relevant intel.
I love that they look at each other like, that's our mother, Do you have a solution, Himeko?
I hesitate to call it a solution, but I might have some information
Sure.
that might help.
Anything helps.
It is my hope that with this information, you will be better equipped as the Supreme Guardian to make a wise and informed decision.
Information. Please.
Oh my god,
tell me
what does she
you know,
know?
Miss Himeko.
I happen to have a friend with knowledge of Topaz. What Topaz said about her home world is indeed true, which is why she believes that the IPC's takeover of Belobog is the only way of ensuring the city's
Interesting
survival.
phrasing. Why she believes.
But there is one thing she intentionally left out. Not all worlds that have accepted the IPC's
Oh my
terms
God.
have been saved.
Oh my friend, yeah, because I never even thought about that. They couldn't have been the only planet, the only planets that accepted those terms.
You mean
Performing ecological reconstruction on a planet carries inevitable risks.
No way, what happened?
According to the intel provided by my friend, the success rate for the ecological
Oh.
reconstruction of worlds using the IPC's technology is 63%.
Like that's higher than 50-50, but the thing is if you're talking about the reconstruction of a planet, that's odds you're not taking.
Only 63% of planets succeed? That's not exactly comforting.
Like that if you're playing a dice game or if you're playing a game of chance or even Baldur's Gate and they give you a 60% chance success rate or something like that, even that's a bit worrying and it leaves things up to chance. You know what I mean? There's basically a 4 in 10 chance that you're gonna fail.
This is the overall average across all IPC projects. The success rate of projects personally handled by Topaz is above 80%.
So she's very good at this stuff.
undoubtedly one of the most capable people in her field.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring these numbers, these probabilities, to light. I think it's only fair that you know all the facts
Right.
before making a decision.
Right. 100%. The fact that this does change things, because even that 20%, right? Because now you're thinking, what if I'm in that 20%? What if I'm in that 20% of people who's gonna get effed up, who things go wrong for? Because even with Topaz, 20% of things go wrong, and that's still again, like we said, in a game of chance, you're playing a board game or something like that. 20%. Oh yeah, well I'll take a chance on 20% on people's lives, on people's future.
Ultimately, it's up to you, Supreme Guardian, to make the final call.
I understand. Thank you.
Love
Miss
Himeko.
This information is of great help.
So Himeko, again, her and Welt definitely have the some of the best supportive nature of this game, and she was not letting this go down this way.
Regardless of how alluring their promises may be, this contract is nothing more than a gamble.
Love it, love it, love it.
As a leader, I cannot let the future of Belobog
Yes.
hinge on a roll of the
Yes.
dice.
Even they agree. Yes.
Now that you've decided, I don't have to pretend to be impartial anymore. I think you're making the right choice,
Yes.
Bronya.
Oh my god. Because you guys know I was definitely leaning towards do not side. You know what I mean? Obviously I was. There's no hiding it, right? But now it's one of those things where it's that meme where it's that person you hated all along now giving you a real reason to not like you. But obviously we already had a real reason to not really trust the IPC already. We know what I mean. Yeah, I'm so on board for this. I'm so on board for this.
Astro
Beautiful
friends,
stuff from Himeko.
I have an idea.
Astro friends.
But for it to work, I'll need everyone's
Oh my god, we're going into
cooperation.
planning mode. I love it.
I need some time to rally all the residents in the city. And then
Oh my
I'll meet with
god.
Topaz again.
Oh my god.
Please locate her for me. It doesn't matter where she is or what she's doing. And if the IPC is still trying to take over
Let's go.
Belobog's
Let's go.
assets, I ask that you do everything in your power to stop
Let's
them.
freaking go. Oh my god.
Don't
Anything for
worry.
you, Bronya.
Leave it to us. We'll find her. It won't be easy dealing with her, but these two will help me get the job done.
Hands on the hips.
Belobog's future is not for
Let's
sale.
go. Oh my god.
And we'll never forget the friends who stood by us in our time of
Love
need.
it.
Not once, but twice.
Yes, oh my, yes, 100%. That's so amazing that the Astral Express, for the second time, have come into Belobog and been like, hey, no, don't do it, you know? And this time Himeko came down this time as well. But then again, Himeko was a big part of, like, and Welt was a big part of, like, how things were saved here in Belobog as well. And again, I want to make it clear as well, this is, like, you know, this isn't like a satisfactory thing where it's like, oh, yes, they went with the thing I wanted originally, right? Like, the excitement I have now is, yeah, there's like a feeling of like, I'm glad that they like went with a decision that like is favorable for me. Of course, I'm glad I agree with it. But it's also a case of like the camaraderie and love that people have on this place. But also like, once again, the Astral Express, I'm so proud to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I'm so proud to be a part of this. I'm so proud to be a part of this, to be friends with Bronya. You know what I mean? And again, I love Bronya to death. It would have been a thing where like I would have to like, you know, even if I disagree with it, you would like support her in some way, right? And want her to all the people at Belobog to be safe. That's the goal. You want everyone at Belobog to be safe and happy. You want everyone to be safe and happy. But like, this is just so amazing to me. Like I'm so proud to be part of this group.
Stay safe.
You
everyone.
you too. What a moment. And we have a group chat as well. Is this the Topaz group chat? No, it's not. Okay. Oh my god, look at it's so many people. We can talk here. Japard and crew, share your reports with the crew. Yes, Lady Bronya. The more details, the better. The Supreme Guardian ordered me to garrison the River Town with Silvermane guards and automatons to stop the IPC's infiltration. The defense went smoothly at first, but then Topaz herself appeared with some special technology that allowed her to seize control of all her automatons in an instant. It seems Topaz is heading for a certain area in the depths of Rivertown. For some reason, Sevarog is with her too. Sevarog, is he trying to go against us? I don't think so. My instincts tell me that there's something else behind this, but I don't know for sure yet. At least we know where we can find Topaz. Let's go, March and Stell.
Shepard should be waiting for us in Rivet Town,
Yep.
right? Here we go again. Back to our old stomping grounds for another adventure.
100%. Okay, before we go to Rivertown, this was an amazing moment for me. Because I think, like, I've no problem saying this, and like, and it's not that like I was hiding that fact. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely like was leaning more towards let's not sign because again, what Natasha said hit me like so hard. But I have no problem saying as well. I think we all agree. What we understood where Serval was coming from, where Pela was coming from, where Oleg was coming from. All these opinions that they had were like so like valid in their feelings about stuff because again they all come from different positions and they've seen different things, they've seen different horrors, they've seen like, you know, like you said, Oleg had these uncertainties because he's lived for so long and he doesn't want those uncertainties to happen again. You know, Pela was obviously someone who like is thinking about the now. She teaches kids. She's probably thinking, man, like I'm thinking about what's happening now in this moment at this time, you know. And again, that's another perspective that's very interesting. But of course, you have to think about the future. And then from Serval's perspective, I feel like it was like more of a case of just like, you know, getting to still be able to, you know, walk around freely with a small price to pay. But again, I feel like, as you guys know, I definitely was like, the way Natasha was coming from this perspective as well was definitely the perspective that I love the most, which is if you sign away your freedom for security, there's no guarantee on that security. And in the end, it's so funny that all these opinions happened here as well and like all this stuff. And in the end, it was Himeko giving some real details as well. You know what I mean? The real information, which is that this is not a certainty. This is not a sure thing. This is not like, oh, again, it's one of those things that Serval didn't know this either. Serval's opinion, if you went to Serval and said, well, actually, Serval, it's only a 60% success rate. She'd be like, oh, then that's not right. If you said to Pela, oh, it's only a 6% success rate. I guarantee you Pela would be like, oh, so it's not certain for people now then? If you said the same thing to Oleg, he'd be like, wow, then things are uncertain. He wouldn't want uncertainty. It's just uncertainty, but a different paintbrush. You know what I mean? It's uncertainty, but a different hand leading you down the road of uncertainty. And it's so interesting the way that, like, that information can change everything. Because even now I'm like, yeah, now that we know the information, like, retroactively, the idea of, like, let's sign up and let's do this makes, you know, it doesn't mean anything, right? Even though I still disagree with it, but it's like one of those things where it's like, oh my god, like, you know, this is actually like such a cool way of doing it, where we got all people's opinions, and then when you get more information, it's like, wait, everything changes. Now even like the security that we thought we'd have, the future we thought we'd have with the IPC, that's not a sure thing. And you saw even the people that disagree with this and agree with this, they all agree at the same time. They're like, yeah, those percentages sound freaking terrifying. Let's go to Rivertown. So let's head down to Rivertown. But I guess we're going to Boulder Town first to speak with Japard, which makes sense, I guess, because he's going to be giving some information. Our lovely Japard. It's rebellion, buddy. Let's go.
The Supreme Guardian has briefed me on the situation and asked that I assist you in locating Topaz.
Thank you so much. Topaz. I was supposed to talk Topaz, Japard.
Ready to enter Rivet Town? We'll go in together when everyone is set.
I'm guessing this is going to be like domain kind of style.
Keep your guards up. We might run into IPC
I hope we do.
agents ahead.
I hope we do. Meanwhile, with Topaz and Savarog.
Destination reached.
Whoa! Look at this!
Wow, would you look at that? Huh. I never would have guessed it'd be here.
What is this?
But I don't see any mech or weapons. This place is completely surrounded by mountains. Surely they can't be.
Affirmative. The weapons are concealed within the towering rock formation.
So she was trying to find weapons again, trying to find that worth, I think, to show that they shouldn't be gutted.
No wonder we couldn't find the automaton factory. It was right under our noses all along.
Oh, you don't know what's coming, Topaz.
Wait a minute. You said these weapons have been hidden here from the very beginning? That means the architects of Eurillo 6 never used them in their fight against the Legion.
Correct. After the IPC departed from this world more than 700 years ago, no one has possessed the necessary knowledge for activating these weapons.
So, the IPC provided these weapons, right? Am I remembering this wrong? But no one's been able to even use them. So, like, the funding they get for these weapons didn't even mean anything.
The architects used the IPC blueprints to construct replica automatons. However, the overwhelming majority of the combatants, commanded by Elisa Rand, were human.
Hopefully that, like, Topaz can see that, like, now they didn't even get to, like, avail of, like, the defensive capabilities that the IPC gave.
I see. The stories about this world are truly...
You know what I mean? Like, they gave them these blueprints and they never used them. You know what I mean? They never used them to help.
I would like to ask you a question, Topaz.
You're awful polite for a big robot. Ask. Don't be shy.
If the IPC does not intervene, this world is doomed. Are you convinced of this conclusion beyond any doubt?
I wonder what the answer is going to be. You're not. You're not convinced. Come on, Topaz. Come on.
Yes.
Oh, she is.
I've gone through countless case studies, and they all point to the same conclusion. Any world that comes into contact with a Stellaron is doomed.
Oh, but I think they can power out of this. I really think they can. It's going to take longer, but I think they can.
On the surface, things may appear to be getting better.
Look at this.
The Astral Express lent a helping hand. But sooner or later, the underlying problems will resurface. A looming crisis can often lie hidden beneath the illusion of prosperity, unnoticed by many.
So what Topaz is saying is that, like, because everyone's, like, so happy about everything getting better, they won't notice the looming crisis coming, is what she's saying.
Understood. That's it? You don't have any thoughts
You
on the
picked
matter?
the wrong person to have a full-on deep conversation with. You know what I mean? He can have it, like, but I think he just mostly has it with Clara.
Emotional readings indicate that your response is sincere and accurate. That is all I wish to confirm regarding this matter. While my opinion on the future of this planet may differ from yours, it ultimately holds no weight. I am merely a tool, not a decision maker.
So Savarog disagrees with this. Please, Savarog, give your opinion.
If only my colleagues had the same self-awareness as you.
I'd love to hear Savarg's opinion on this.
Come on, Numby. We've got some.
Wait, no, we know Savarg's opinion because in the main quest, he like legitimately was like, you know, so okay with everyone moving forward eventually, because he believed in humans again, right? That they could do something. He changed his viewpoint because of Clara as well.
Topaz disappeared after leaving Rivet Town. In her absence, her subordinates flooded in and took over.
The IPC soldiers are well equipped. It wouldn't be wise to fight them head on.
I can't believe I have Himeko
Captain,
with us as well.
What do you have in mind?
This is so cool.
You're right, Miss Himeko. We'll be using the automaton stealth bomb to cover our tracks.
Oh, wow, okay.
Automaton stealth bomb?
Is this a stealth bomb?
I'll explain later. Let's get moving.
Oh, wait, this isn't a stealth bomb. Okay, I thought he was talking about this robot here. Okay, I guess not the robot.
Look, down there! It's the IPC!
Let me just punch him. Punch him in the back. Punch him in the shoulders.
Keep noise to a minimum, everyone. We don't want to alert the enemy to our presence. It's time to deploy the automaton stealth bomb.
Wait.
Are you ready?
Yeah?
Use the automaton stealth bomb to wipe out the IPC threats.
Ready.
Remember, try to avoid being noticed. Remaining hidden will increase our chances of success.
So we were actually going to get to... Wait, what? When controlling the stealth bomb... It is the stealth bomb. Okay, the attack button to trigger the self-detonation stuns all enemies in the attack race to complete the challenge. But if the automaton fails to stun all enemies at once or is discovered by enemies, the challenge will be failed and written off. To avoid enemies' line of sight, use sprint to approach your enemies and take them all down at once. So we have to like get them all in the circle at one time. That's a really... Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Wow! We wiped them all out in a single explosion!
That's pretty cool.
That's what you call efficiency.
It's a shame we had to resort to this method. But we had no choice.
No, you were strong-armed. They literally surrounded you with robots.
You Silvermane guards sure are.
Yeah, March is on my level here too. 100%. Like they 100% like strong-armed you and like surrounded you with robots. They weren't thinking like, oh, man, I hate to resort to this, you know?
I've seen standard issue robots like these before. It's an IPC field team leader.
Correct. The exterior is similar to the Grizzly, but its weapons and armor are more advanced. Hopefully the automaton stealth bomb will still be effective. Let me know when you're ready.
This is interesting that we're doing like a stealth mission for this though, right? Like I never thought we'd do this.
Are you ready? Use the automaton stealth bomb to wipe out the IPC threats. Remember, try to avoid being noticed. Remaining hidden will increase our chances of success.
Let's go. Hey, turn around! Turn the other way! Please, turn the other way. Get back. Can you go over here towards him? Go back over to him, please. I'll stay here. Good on ya. Okay, I'm coming down. Just warning you guys, I'm coming down. Okay? I'm coming down. That went better than I expected. I love when they like notice for a second and they go, oh god.
The coast is clear.
Marge is having a lot of fun with this. Same, honestly,
To be
Marge.
honest, I didn't think it would be so powerful. Good thing everything went according to plan.
No, Marge is right to have a lot of fun with this. This is a lot of fun.
This is the road that Topaz took when she left Rivet Town.
Okay.
Let's find her and tell her about Bronya's decision.
This time, the gloves are off.
I love when Marge gets into fighting mode as well, you know? Well, she probably means it more figuratively, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The old weapon testing ground. Look at the lights here as well. So freaking cool. There's Svarog just standing there too.
Mr. Svarog? Are you alright? I hope Topaz
No.
and her IPC henchmen
Topaz.
hurt you.
No, Topaz ain't gonna let that happen.
Greetings, outsiders. System functions are normal. I have had no conflict with the IPC's representatives.
I thought we might be facing off against each other for a moment.
Such a result would be highly undesirable.
Yeah. That's Svarog's way of saying, I don't want to fight you guys. I really don't want to do that again.
Topaz is ahead. She had the means to force me to comply with her orders, but chose not to.
100%, I truly believe that Topaz would not. Now the thing is, like, no matter what, like, of course, like, she still, like, you know, forced a bunch of robots on Japard, but obviously Japard got out of there safely. But I didn't think she was going to hurt Sevarog.
From her perspective,
at all.
The only way to preserve Belobog is by incorporating it into the IPC. While I do not agree with her viewpoint, I lack the computational power to provide evidence to the contrary.
Right, and that's fair. That's fair. Obviously, there's like, I guess it's more of, it could be more of a feeling. We know this could be more of a feeling, you know?
While it is unlikely, I still encourage the avoidance of any potential conflicts.
I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll try.
Unlikely potential? Meaning there could still be conflict.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, it's two different viewpoints about to clash head on, you know?
Don't worry, March. The Express never pursues conflict as a first means. But if it comes down to it, we won't back down either. That's how it's always been.
Himeko's right. As long as we can look at ourselves in the mirror and know we did the right thing, that's all that matters.
Yep. Like, genuinely so. Like, this is such a beautiful line. You know what I mean? It's literally, the Express never pursues conflict as the first means, but it comes down to we won't back down either. That's so the Express. The Express are here to help, but they're also not pushovers. They will fight, and we have fought. And we will continue to fight. It's genuinely like a pride in being a part of the Astro Express. It's such a pride. And I've no problem saying that like, you know, it's one of like my happiest things that we get to have this family. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in them so much.
Topaz come here? Is she looking for something?
It's possible. Many mysteries lurk beneath the surface of this world.
Yeah, I was so right to do that. But it feels like there's a boss battle coming, right? Look at this thing. Like, even before seeing this, you can feel there's a boss battle coming. But look at this. And then they have these things in front of it, too. I wonder, can we... Although this won't work, you know what I mean? But still, maybe we could, like... Yeah, it won't work. It's going to impair. Look at this location. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Topaz looks so cool there.
Folks. I was starting to think you weren't going to show up.
Like, this is such a cool location if we do get to fight a boss here. But, like, we for sure are.
This lady next to Miss March looks oddly familiar.
This is the beautiful, lovely, smart, amazing, incredible Himeko.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Topaz. I'm Himeko, the Astral Express's navigator.
Oh, wow. I remember now. The illustrious Miss Himeko. Some of my colleagues dream about meeting you.
So there's people in the IPC that are like, genuinely want to meet Himeko. And again, like, we know, like, just from the way that Himeko even, like, you know, appeared there in front of Bronya, people were starstruck. Bronya was starstruck. So she does have, like, obviously, like, a reputation. I think it'd be funny to ask this as well.
I'd be surprised if you didn't. Don't underestimate the reputation of the nameless out among the stars. You're following in the footsteps of the great Akavili, after all.
I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense with all the stuff that they've done so far as well. Like, Sele's already, like, accomplished, like, lifetimes, like, 10 lifetimes worth of stuff.
I'm pleased to see how well everyone's been getting along. Topaz, based on your greeting, I presume you have a good grasp of the current situation?
Of course. The deadline has already passed, but Bronya still hasn't signed the contract. I think I can guess what's holding.
You see why that's kind of F though? Like, a deadline of like that short. Because we were talking about this earlier, like everyone like that had their opinions like of to sign it versus to not sign it and all this stuff. No matter if I disagree with their opinions or agree with parts of it, disagree with parts of it. Factually so, they deserve to have like so long to think about this. This should have been like months long of like debating and conversations, right? With all the information, with all the percentages, with everything intact. Everything on the table, you know?
Please, don't misunderstand us, Miss Topaz. We have no intention of opposing the IPC or its board of directors. But we have very dear friends on Eurillo 6.
I will oppose them if needs be.
Standing idly by and watching them sign an unfair contract goes against everything the Nameless are about.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Himeko's perfect. Himeko's absolutely perfect.
Miss Himeko, sorry for interrupting, but this doesn't sound like a negotiation.
We needn't waste our time, March. She made her decision 10 minutes.
Wow. Oh my god, what a line. Himeko's basically saying like, yeah, like she knows. She disagrees. She's already made a decision.
There's no fooling the Astro
Yeah.
Express. You're absolutely right. Differing views don't necessarily mean one person is right and the other is wrong.
Sometimes it does.
However, to keep things moving forward, there's usually only one solution.
Wait, what? Did she notice something?
What do you mean?
My superiors have granted me the approval I need.
Wait, she was waiting for approval? For what?
You're very curious about my work, aren't you?
You're the one who said approval. I'm just counter what you said.
So many eager faces. I won't keep you in the dark any longer.
What was that? What was that?
Approval to launch an attack on the members of the
Oh. She had to wait for approval before she could fight us. Oh my god. Okay.
The best kept secret to getting something over the line? Always be ready to turn.
Should I activate the lights?
Go, Numby.
Go Numby. What are we seeing here? Another cutscene as well, though. Did Numby summon IPC agents?
Projects under my wing have no room for error.
Look at her. Okay, look, like legit, like no matter what, she looks so cool. She looks so cool. Oh, look at this. And Numby flying towards the screen. Oh my freaking god. No, she's legitimately very cool, right? She's legitimately so cool.
Lend me your strength. Tedious.
Let's start doing all this stuff. This is like again how like official, right? Getting approval
sleep is not the end.
from her superiors to fight us. Like that's a very cool like story detail. Okay, so if I remember how to use we did a trial just like 2 days ago, so we should be able to use
all will be revealed.
We should be able to use Jinyu.
Flame.
Look at that look to this camera she does when she does that.
Blade
And then we have this as well. Yeah, that's so cool. We get to blast. So good.
This battle is unavoidable.
Okay. I think we're gonna have a handle on this as well. Now the only thing is without Hanya, it's a little bit weird because we don't have the constant regaining of skill points, but still we have this, which is still pretty powerful. And we didn't even get to like use Luca at all yet, but hopefully we'll get to. Well, we can use him now.
Lend me your strength.
Because we want to like get him his ability as well, so like we can get that extra damage, right? So the chance to make them. Oh look, he's so cool. Look where he's standing. Oh my god.
You chose the wrong enemy.
We have to be wary of our skill points, so we don't have Hanya getting us back skill points as fast as before, right? We have to be wary of that. It's insane. The amount of insane damage, you know what I mean?
Where's the applause? Let's see some sparks fly!
All will be revealed.
On the trail we blaze.
Lunar flame.
The way she opens her eyes wide as soon as like as soon as like the end of that move like is actually so kind of like terrifying.
Lend me your strength. Stand down.
Small fry.
I'm not used to this I still punch her. I'm not used to this team yet at all. Because of course, like I'm so used to like, you know, the Sushang combo, which we're gonna be using Sushang again. Like I feel like now that we have like multiple teams, we can start doing like things where we like go between so many different teams. You know, it's not gonna be a thing where we have to like you know, use the same teams all the time. We can now like dip between different teams, create different. Oh my god, we're going for blast again. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be super fun.
Eternal sleep is not the
dead return.
You'll pay for this.
What are we going for here? Yeah.
Lend me your strength.
so freaking good. Battle over? Okay, battle's over. We didn't actually get to fight Topaz. Oh, slow clap. Oh no.
Incredible. No wonder the Astral Express is so highly regarded.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Finished warming up? Now
Oh, here we go.
turn.
Here we freaking go.
Stop! All of you, put down
Bronya!
your weapons.
There, I did not expect her to show up at this moment as well. But again, like it's a big part of her decision. Is like it's her decision as well.
Bronya! You're here just in time. Things were about to get out of control.
Supreme Guardian. I was starting to wonder whether you'd left the Express crew to fend for themselves. That would hardly be becoming of you.
I mean, like again, like Topaz like is so like calm and collected, which means that like I feel like she's dealt with like a lot of like combativeness when in these situations before as well, right? Of course.
I would never do such a thing. There was an important matter that required my attention.
More important.
But now she's shook, right? When she finds out that the IPC dealings, like there's something here that's more important than this situation right now. And she's obviously not used to this part.
Yes. I think you'll understand the significance once you see it. In short, I need you to help us evaluate our current progress.
Okay. Interesting. So something has happened here. But like you see the way it shook Topaz a little bit, because again, Topaz like you're talking about the IPC has like their thumb on everything. I'm not saying again, I want to make it clear, I do think that like Topaz doesn't have the full values of the IPC in my opinion. I don't think her heart's in it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where like I don't think her heart's fully there, right? Just from like the way she's reacted in some cases and just the way she's trying, like in different situations. But then again, I could be wrong. And it could be just like this maybe wishful thinking, like, that someone would like, not have their full heart and that type of stuff. But if you're so used to the IPC having their thumb on everything and having control of everything, and then when someone goes, oh yeah, I was dealing with something else, I wasn't even thinking about this, it's kind of like, wait, what?
Help you? That's interesting. I was under the impression you'd already decided to obstruct our operations here.
Like, Bronya's made Topaz go from like a very confident demeanor to being kind of like a bit weary.
I have read your letter word for word, Miss Topaz. And your childhood experiences truly touched me.
She went through hell. Topaz went through hell.
Your hometown once experienced a similar catastrophe to Yorillo 6. So I can understand your perspective on the issue and the position you have taken. It's because of this empathy you have that I still hold out a glimmer of hope. Despite all that's happened, I hope we can still find common ground through peaceful means.
Man, so Bronya's basically saying like because you understand what we've gone through as well, not just us understanding what you went through, maybe you can understand our position.
I have to admit, talking to you is always such a pleasure. I apologize for my behavior just now. It was inappropriate.
She's like, Topaz is already like a cool looking character, but like this one scene where she got approval to fight the Astral Express, then when she was a bit cheeky with Bronya and all this stuff and here as well, but then got a little bit shaky about like what she was like hearing here, a bit weary about Bronya's conversation she was having with her, and now calming down and being like, look, I apologize. It's like there's so many layers to this character.
I admire your determination. Seeing as we've come this far, I've changed my mind.
Wow.
I'll hold off a little longer and see what you have to show me. But remember, winning over the higher-ups won't be easy.
We can kill them.
I understand. That's why I've been taking things one step at a time. The first step was changing your mind.
Oh my god, right? Look, like I know she's the same character model, right? But when Bronya goes like leader mode, this empathetic leader mode, like you can't help but just like adore her. Like, she almost like feels like she has a different energy to her. She looks different in a way, I know she looks the same, but you know what I mean, like figuratively. And she's always empathetic, by the way, when she goes full leader mode.
We'll need your help too.
Whatever you need. So what's the next business after this?
What a dismal sight. This district. Have you been here before?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. This is where we put an end to it all.
This was where we fought,
And then began again.
the first shout of Cocolia, right? Is that correct? We fought the first shout of Cocolia here. I could be wrong. And then we went up there towards the mountain, right? Am I wrong? No, maybe that was, maybe I'm wrong. I think this is where we met up with Japard after. I could be completely wrong.
Kyle, sorry for the delay. Are we clear to proceed?
The path ahead is clear, Madam Guardian. You and your companions can proceed north without hindrance.
Excellent. The mountain road ahead
It is the mountain,
a little
yeah.
treacherous. Watch your step. Let's go.
I find that sometimes I do doubt myself sometimes when it comes to like my remembering of things.
We've never been here before, right?
We've only recently discovered
Oh,
this
wait.
domain.
So this is a...
Let's keep moving forward. What I want to show you is just ahead.
Yeah, look at this. It's like a whole building here. So it is the same location as the mountain, right? Yeah. But it's a different location. But yeah, sometimes I doubt myself when it comes to like my rememberings and stuff like this. And I feel like that happens every time when you're a creator because you're like, oh, do I remember this? Oh, this is this. You know what I mean? And like, and it's not like a bad thing because sometimes it's okay to like question like, oh, because questioning yourself and being a little confused for a second can sometimes lead you to think about stuff and then leads you to understand things a bit more. But like, I feel like sometimes I should just be fully confident in like, you know, I know these places. I've been here. I have an emotional connection to these places. Oh my God, look at this. What is happening here? Another cutscene? Oh, look at March. Whoa. Oh my God. Wait, there's like a whole operation happening here? There's Serval.
Look. The people of Belobog have not
given up.
I just want to give them a chance.
They're still working. What? What are they working on though? Oh my God.
Did you recognize that broken down machine?
That's
over
it's the
there?
big robot that helped us, right? The engine of creation, the one that like kept, yeah.
I thought you might.
100%. What a beautiful scene seeing everyone like working together. Of course, Japar being the biggest gentleman ever, like, you know, saving someone's life so casually.
Miss Topaz, I know you've done a lot of research into Belobog.
Oh my God.
I was wondering if there was any information on the engine of creation in your records?
Not at all. Which is why I find it so incredible. Such a massive feat of engineering, yet there's not a single mention of it in any of the strategic
Crazy.
investigations reports.
Not even mentioned.
I may know the reason why. The engine of creation was constructed solely by the people of Belobog without any external assistance.
This is theirs. This is like a representation of what the people of Belobog can do.
The project
Whoa.
was led by the first Supreme Guardian, Alyssa Rand.
Alyssa.
While warriors fought on the front lines, the engineers worked tirelessly behind the scenes, designing and constructing it.
So what you're saying is the engine of creation was a weapon constructed by the Belabogians themselves?
Yeah, no outside help, no IPC funding.
Yes, but not entirely. The engine of creation was commissioned for combat shortly after its completion, and played a significant role in the battles against the Legion.
They didn't use the freaking blueprints that were provided. Look at the lighting here. Oh my God. They didn't use the blueprints that were provided from them by the IPC. They used their own creation.
But Alyssa Rand had a long-term vision, one that nobody anticipated. For a long time, this feat of engineering was codenamed the Geological Reconstruction Unit. It was actually given a much grander purpose: to help the Belabogians rebuild their homeland and restore their world to its former glory, after driving away all those who threatened it.
Bronya here giving this speech as well, you know? Like, she is the leader. She is the Supreme Guardian.
Remarkable. A vision that would transcend both time and generations of Belabogians. Madame Rand was truly an inspiring leader.
The history of Belobog is long and storied. It's gone through suffering, these creations, survival. Like, they truly are like amazing people. They are.
Not to take away from the Supreme Guardian in front of me. She's quite the
She is,
leader
isn't she?
as well.
Like, you see her standing there. I was so proud. She was like standing there talking like this leader, like giving a grand speech. She's so amazing.
Thank you. But I didn't really do anything.
Apart from stealing all of our hearts.
All I did was bring the people of Belobog together and make them aware that our hard-earned freedom was under immense threat once again.
So that's why they're all here, like working on this?
If we want to preserve this freedom, we must act and show those who doubt us that we, Belobog, have the will and the ability to control our own destiny.
Yes. Yes. Kind of what Clara was saying as well, right?
The outcome of our mobilization speaks for itself. The children of Belobog have made their decision. They have chosen to preserve this homeland with their own
Wait, so the kids are like, I want to help too? That's so sad, but it's so like cute.
I must say, I didn't anticipate this at all.
And this is what happens with everyone. Now that everyone has the full information, they're against signing it, right? They're against doing that. Oh, Topaz. Topaz.
I'll fight for this opportunity.
Topaz!
I shouldn't have conflated your own circumstances with my childhood. That was a serious lapse of judgment on my part.
From Topaz's perspective, this is a very, very big step forward. There's a chance that because of the stuff that Topaz went through in their childhood, that they feel like everything's situation will be exactly the same, even though it can be relatable, that there may be a thing where you're like, well, I know what's best for you. You know what I mean? I know what's best because it was best for me, right, in that situation, which isn't the way things will always work.
My world never had a resolute leader, so
wow.
People gave up on the idea of saving themselves.
Oh my god.
But your civilization has persisted through the snow and storms for 700 years. A truly admirable.
So she's saying that when her world with the acid rain and all this, the pollution, all this stuff, and the you know the horrible situations that they went through, they didn't have someone to see them through that storm like Bronya. Now, still, like the situation that Topaz was in, I don't know if like even a leader could have helped, but yeah, I understand what she's saying.
Then, are you willing to retract your previous decision? As for the debt, we'll find a way to gradually repay it. But it'll take
This
some
lady
time.
looks so good for Bronya. I'm gonna say this right now, like legitimately, we ain't paying a cent of that interest.
Unfortunately, the acquisition of Urilla 6 is a strategic decision that's been approved by the IPC's top brass. Even if I wanted to overturn it, convincing them would be extremely difficult.
Unless? Wait.
Don't worry, Miss Topaz. Myself and all of the names aboard the Astral Express are willing to vouch for this world.
So Himeko's word like means this much.
Fantastic. That might just work. As for the
Let's go,
reports
Topaz.
and potential accountability,
We're still not paying a cent of the interest, but like I'm very proud of these steps.
I'll handle it.
Oh my god. Okay, Topaz. Let's go. This is what I was talking about. I hope Topaz realizes, by the way, I don't know everyone at the IPC, so I can't say this for sure, but like, I know that for a fact of the way we've seen the IPC values, if Topaz is gone tomorrow, like, whoever we were dealing with would be like a million times worse. 100%. And she's not perfect. So something I missed here, kind of brushed past, is that they did say it was a strategic purchase of Belobog. They need Belobog for like resources, not just because of like, oh, we want to reclaim our loan because of the economy. So it definitely is like a strategic thing here as well. Pretty incredible stuff. Talk to Bronya and Topaz. Look at this location. Like, holy hell. I know we're getting a good view of Luca as well when we do this also. They're playing some music with their hard hats over here as well. Space anchor activated. Some soldiers over here. Let's talk to everyone first as well, right?
I was worried things were gonna get ugly again. A peaceful solution is always the best solution.
I was ready to fight. You know what I mean? I'm like that, and you guys know that at this stage, but...
Speaking of solutions, are they repairing repairing that giant robot? The one we fought against? I remember you took control of it and helped us defeat Kakolia.
Well, no, like, as you guys know, like, I want to make that clear. You guys know, I will always try to find a peaceful solution, but if I have to fight, you guys know I'm for that. You guys know I'm for that. Wonderful to have time to celebrate the Saltworm Festival. Yeah.
Right, I totally forgot.
With your lovely dress.
That's the whole reason we came here in the first place. Well, looks like everyone in the city's helping with construction. Doubt there'll be much time for celebrating. Still, look on the bright side. We got to meet a top IPC executive.
That's, like, honestly not on my list.
Wasn't a complete waste, right?
Not on my list. We got to meet a new character. That's the way I look at it, honestly. You know what I mean? We got to meet a new character. But honestly, at the same, like, I'm just like, the way I look at it is like, I'm so sad because, like, March got this lovely new dress. We were going to go to the festival, but of course, like, everything in, like, it's like a very Hoyo thing to do, which I'm not against. It's just good story writing. You start off with, like, a very lovely idea, and it delves into something that's, like, a lot more serious, you know?
You know? I'd heard you and March speak highly of the Supreme Guardian before. But seeing her methods firsthand left me in awe.
She's incredible, isn't she, Himeko? She's incredible.
We should also be glad that Ms. Topaz is the one in charge of the Urilo 6 project. If it were someone else from the Strategic Investment Department, things might have gotten complicated.
What do you mean, Himeko? Do you mean Topaz didn't make things complicated enough?
The Strategic Investment Department comprises the IPC's most elite employees, many of whom can be very...
Oh, we know this from the way that the other, like, employees acted.
Let's talk about this later, when you're back on the Express. You and March must be tired after such an incredible journey. It's time you got some well-deserved...
Himiko's so proud of her. You know she's so proud. Like, my daughters went off on a trip to a festival and ended up, like, helping... I know Himeko did a lot, yeah, but ended up helping out, like, the situation here on Belobug a lot. Look at the workers up there, too. You know what I mean? Like, she's definitely, like, a proud, mother, you know what I mean? That's my kids. That's my nameless. This is an amazing thing here. And what Himeko was saying, by the way, is true. And, like I said, guys, for me, you know, if it was my decision, like, I'm going, yeah, by the way, we're not paying off the interest of the debt. You know what I mean? I know people are going to say, Calvin, well, then you're dead. Probably. But, like, and, like, we're not paying off the debt either. You know what I mean? That'll be me. But what Himeko is saying is, and I said the same thing, like, you know, if, like, in 100 years' time when Topaz retires, you know, you're left with, like, the only people representing that part of her branch as people who are terrifying and forceful and scary. And not that by the way, Topaz did do some forceful stuff. Let's not lie. We can't lie and look on the screen and be like, no, it didn't happen. Like, you know, there was some pretty scary, forceful stuff that was happening here. But obviously Topaz didn't agree with every bit of it, but she did, like, obviously, like, send some robots to surround Japard. All this stuff, right? That is a scary thing. She's not a perfect character in any way, shape, or form. She's not. She's not a perfect character in any way, shape, or form, but I don't think she's meant to be. This is a character I feel like, and maybe this is saying too much on this, but, like, I feel like she didn't get a chance to be, like, the fully, like, realized person that she probably could have been. And I'm not saying anything like that, like, oh, like, you know, it sounds like I'm taking agency away from her to be like, oh, like, she didn't understand. Like, here's the thing, no matter what, the IPC should not, like, own a planet. They should never own another region. No one should come into another person's region and take over that planet and change that planet and take away its resources. That should not happen. It should not happen in any way, shape, or form, ever. But I feel like when I'm talking about Topaz as a character, Topaz is, and this is not me saying, like, oh, thank you, Topaz, for being the one that showed up. That's not it at all. I'm saying that, like, very clearly so, Topaz does have this thing in her head where she does 100% believe that she can help people and their lives and save people's lives. That's what she wanted here today. That's what she wanted. But again, it was through, like, the lens, I feel, of trauma and through the IPC, where she was her planet almost died and her people almost died until the IPC saved them. Now, again, saved them, quote unquote, saved them, giving them money in a very vulnerable state. They had to take the savior. No, not giving them money, but making them work for them in a very vulnerable state. They had to take this or else they would die. You know what I mean? And because of that, she's probably grown up with the IPC values, and because she actually has, like, some good morals within her as well, I feel like she filters those through the IPC values as well, where it's still, like, sometimes it's like, man, that's a very questionable thing you did there, 100%. But then also at the same time, it's like, well, she seems to actually, like, care, and she does want people to live. It's just that, again, her good morals are filtered through the bad morals of the IPC, so it gets so complicated and messy that it's like not perfect in any way, shape, or form.
Miss Topaz, you mentioned accountability.
Yeah, I think the Belobog music is way louder than the dialogue. Other places aren't the same, because the Yan show is definitely not the same.
Don't worry.
way, it's nothing I can't handle. There are more important things than titles and ranks. Finding the best solution is what matters most.
Let's go. Will they cut your pay?
If that's what they want to do, then so be it. I've long passed the stage of working just for money.
Okay.
Thank you so much for all you've done. I never thought we'd drag the Express into a crisis again. Much less one that might cause a rift between you
Rift
and
it.
IPC.
Rift it away. Rift away.
Rift? I wouldn't go that far. Also, it's me who's mostly to blame. I didn't keep my subordinates.
I'm glad she's taking like accountability for this as well, and in a way too, where it's like clearly like, you know, well, no, I don't think, I think that the IPC representatives, like the other guys who were strong arm and stuff and hurting people, they definitely were acting on the values of the IPC, right? 100%. Because if they're allowed to do this here, if they thought they were allowed to do this here, they were allowed to do it before. And clearly these troops though didn't understand that Topaz didn't want this. So obviously they haven't worked under Topaz, in my opinion, probably before. And so I don't think I can blame Topaz completely for that. But I guess what she's saying is I should have said beforehand, don't do this and don't do that. You know what I mean? It is true the IPC requires you to go through 17 rounds of interviews. That's a good question, honestly.
17? Oh, I think I might know who you're talking about. You could say he's a special case. For most people, the interview process is much shorter.
I'm glad we're able to discuss them later.
Honestly, it's a little bit needed, I'd say now.
Well, you all need some rest after everything you've been through.
Oh no.
I've arranged rooms for you all at the Goethe Hotel.
Marge, we're not getting arrested this time.
Miss Topaz, if you need somewhere comfortable to stay.
I appreciate the offer, but I need to head back and deliver my reports. It's been great getting to know you both. I hope we can work together again in the future. Only next time under better circumstances.
Right. This is, you know, a better outcome than what could have happened. 100%. Again, like I said, if it wasn't Topaz. 100%. So we have to go to we're going to the Goethe Hotel, just like this. Yeah, I think I've said my piece a lot on what happened here, 100%. And I think you guys understand my take on this as well. And I want to say as well, like, I'm not going to, like, shun other people's takes on this either, you know? And you guys know that at this stage. Like, I do think that, like, you know, it was meant to be, like, a very complicated and uneasy feeling throughout the entirety of this. It was meant to feel that way. I don't think in any way was this meant to be, like, easy in any way, shape, or form. And I appreciate the writing in this game that it does feel that way. You know what I mean? I'm watching a show right now called Weak Hero, right? For the first time. And it's traumatizing, right? But it's not, that show is, again, very, like, hard to watch. But that show was not meant to, like, and like people might say, well, I have watched it, it's not the traumatizing. Like, I can't handle, I don't like good people getting, like, punched. I don't mind seeing a bad person get a punch, you know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with that, but yeah. But like, I personally am like believe though stories about like that are meant to make you feel uncomfortable and sad and uneasy and nervous. The writer, like, if you can't come away from watching like a horror movie and that's all about psychological horror, and you said to the writer, oh yeah, I watched it and like I was laughing through the whole thing, they probably would feel very bad. But if you talk to a psychological horror director, like you talk to like John Carpenter about Halloween, you know, the first Halloween movie, and you said, I watched that movie and I couldn't sleep for a week, he's probably gonna be a little bit happier than, I watched that movie and oh my god, dude, oh my god, so fun, you know? Even though that's not a bad, if you have fun with horror movies, that's not bad either, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure the director would like want you to be like, oh my god, yes, I made it so that he couldn't sleep for a week, that's awesome, you know? And this, if you said to the Honkai writers, I imagine if you said like, hey, yeah, this made me feel uncomfortable, uneasy, nervous, it made me feel like I was like, I couldn't help anybody, I hope that they would be like, yeah, that's what we intended.
I've been wondering, how did you figure out what was happening here on Belobog, Himeko?
Well, you know, keeping an eye on the crew is just another
Just keep an eye on her kids.
navigator's job.
I love that that's her answer. It's like, I literally know everything you do. That's such a mother answer as well, the way. I have eyes everywhere, you know? That's what Irish map used to say. It's like, how did you know that I did this? I have eyes all over the place, you don't even know. Which is code for, like, you know, your auntie or uncle found you. Man, we're back at these the ruins again. I think these ruins are very nice, by the way. They're very comfortable.
March was looking forward to the Soulborn Festival for ages. Looks like she's missed her chance.
She has such a gorgeous dress as well.
I never thought this trip would be so... tiring. Time for bed.
Oh?
In light of the events that have transpired, we will be taking the following disciplinary measures against you.
Why? Well, no, I know why. Why am I saying why for? Jesus Christ. She's literally like changing rules to help us out here with this thing, I guess. Right? And I guess, like, you know, she's literally going against, like, the decisions of the IPC.
Your rank will be demoted from P45 to P44 with corresponding adjustment to your
So
basic
docked
salary.
pay demoted.
All bonuses for the current cycle will be revoked, including stock options and performance bonuses.
I don't think Topaz cares about this, by the way. But this just shows me 100% again that the IPC is ruled through fear. Not only just with the people around the world. I was going to say about Tevat, guys. We're getting things mixed up here, aren't we? But it's also like the people that work for them. Like, we heard this throughout the whole quest. Oh, they're going to dock my bonus. There's this fear that at any moment you could get your bonus revoked. But not only that, but like, your performance bonuses are gone. Your stock options are gone. So any stock options you had in the company, which again is so shady to take someone's stock options away from them. You're demoted. You know what I mean? It's 100% ruled through an iron fist of fear.
You will need to submit an additional report regarding this incident to Diamond. If you have any objections to this penalty, you may also file...
So official, right?
I have no objections.
Understood. Is there anything else anyone would like to add?
Anyone else?
If there are no further remarks, this meeting is concluded.
So she got demoted.
You only got demoted one rank? Phew, you dodged a bullet there. Pretty big project to mess up on. Someone must be looking out for you. Oh,
who?
Already left the call.
Sorry, I was just like so gobsmacked, but who is this?
Ugh, this voice changer is driving me crazy.
Let me turn it off.
Wait.
Adventurine, why are you still on?
Adventurine?
Hey, what's with the hostility? It's not like I'm your boss.
Adventurine.
Oh, wait. I guess I am now. My apologies. I'm still getting used to my new place in the
Adventurine. We've heard the name Adventurine before, right? Was it in a trial? It could have been in a trial.
Can I help you? If you've got something to say, say it.
They're teasing something here, right?
Oh, nothing important. Just checking in on you. I told you Eurylo 6 would be a high-risk, low-reward case. Why do you even bother? In our line of work, having a kind heart can be more of a liability than an asset. If you're not careful, you'll end up leading yourself down a dead-end road.
So Adventurine's being very playful about this idea as well, it seems.
Anything else? If not,
And she seems very annoyed by this person.
Wait, hold on a minute. Don't hang up. I get it. You're not in the mood for this conversation right now. Okay. How about this? Something that might interest you.
And what's that?
While you were enjoying your playtime on Eurylo 6, Diamond was busy taking care of the head honcho of the Building Material Logistics Department. That's why he didn't attend today's meeting.
Okay.
A Taravan?
Taravan.
That's right. The renowned Taravan. One of the 7 board members. He's throwing his support behind us instead of the Marketing Development Department for once. Oswaldo won't be laughing anymore.
Wait, what? So he's changed his support to Adventurine and Topaz's section?
Diamond's been a great help to both of us. Your antics on such a crucial day can't exactly have painted the Strategic Investment Department in a good light, you know? Since you get the point, let's get down to business. I'm currently at Pier Point. There's a major deal that could affect the whole department. I just so happen to need a reliable project manager for the job. What do you say, old
taking this
friend?
job?
Huh. And what prompted the mighty Aventurine to start collaborating?
So Aventurine
with
doesn't
others?
usually like work with other people.
Penacony.
Oh my god.
What?
Is this a tease?
That's right. Now that's.
But
the
she
kind of
stopped. She was like,
reaction I
"Oh."
was hoping for.
Hold on a minute. Diamond?
Oh my
picked you for
god.
this
Oh my
project?
god.
I was expecting someone like Opal or Obsidian to handle it. At least someone higher than rank P46.
So this planet is a big deal.
Honestly, who knows? The family has some pretty questionable characters. If you ask me, doing business with them is a lost cause. But as we both know, the IPC does more than just business deals. Guess it's my time to shine. So, how about it? This is a rare opportunity. Consider it. You never know, you might even be able to make up for your blunder on your Rillo 6.
Oh my god. The way he even phrases this as well, it's like, hey, look, this could be a big deal. So Peconi is a big deal. What are you saying, Topaz?
I'll get back to you later.
Gotta decide.
Seems like it's just one wild
Right.
ride after another.
But what a nice little tease though, right? So we're gonna be dealing with the IPC on the next planet too. Or maybe forever. Wait, what's happening here?
I hope I made the right decision this time.
Topaz, I think that you're better than most people we've met in the IPC so far. And we haven't met a lot of people, in fairness. Like 3. Oh my god, look at the bear. What the hell? It's so cute. What the hell? What are we doing here?
The snow is
Yeah?
mesmerizing.
Gorgeous shot. And there we go. Sunny deeds beget rainy needs. And we have Topaz as a visitor. Wilder. Who the hell is Wilder? No idea. But guys, that's going to do it for this episode, of course. We're going to talk about everything that happened in this episode, too. But if you want my thoughts on the quality of this whole quest, I think it's one of the most well-written quests we've... And again, that says a lot about this game, like how well-written this actually was. I found it to be so, nerve-wracking and weird and complicated. But again, I think that was the intention. Throughout the whole thing, I was constantly feeling I want to do something. I want to help. I want to solve this almost instantly. And, I just couldn't. It made me feel like I was useless at times. You know what I mean? I feel like that's definitely, the intention of this. Not useless, but, that you can't do anything to help, right? But in the end, we were able to figure something out. And honestly, had a very, complicated character in Topaz as well. Very complicated situation. And an interesting lesson at the end for Topaz and other characters here, too. And like I said, it's one of those things that in the end, they went with my decision, which is not to sign the deal. But, that doesn't mean I'm yeah, they went with my decision. The way it could feel like that, and it can feel like that, it probably will feel like that. But I also do feel like there's also a thing where it's how do I say it? Where it's I just want the people of Belobog to be safe. You know what I mean? That's what I want to happen. I want everyone in here to be happy. This is always gonna be the first place you went to. You know what I mean? It always will be. It's our Mondstadt. You know what I mean? It's our Mondstadt. Before I talk about the rest of the stuff, by the way, I have some wishes that I got from leveling up some characters here. It's only 4, but we can definitely use them. Skip forward. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! What? Okay. We got a love for Yang Xing. Fair enough. I did not expect that whatsoever. We must have done a lot of wishes on this banner, though. I guess we must have. Wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, when I saw the stars come out, I thought it was gonna be a 4-star. That's crazy. I do want to use Yangxing at some point as well. So, like, getting an Eidolon is not a bad thing. That's my first Eidolon for a 5-star, by the way. Pretty freaking nuts, right? Just out of nowhere. Now, again, here's the thing. When we say things are unlucky, you know what I mean? Again, from my perspective, I'm always like, okay, you guys know I don't really mind, like, getting an Eidolon for a character. It's not really something that upsets me that much, you know what I mean? But if you want to say, like, that's very, very unlucky, I would definitely, like, be on board with that because, in a way, again, because I don't feel that way, but if people said, like, oh, that's unlucky because you got a random, 5-star there, and it could have been anyone else on the standard banner, and that's 100% true. We got someone we already had, and it's always going to be favorable for me to get a character the most, I think, like, getting a Bronya Eidolon would have been fantastic there as well, but, like, again, I'm going to be using Yangxing at some point anyway, and even probably trying to level him up today, so there is going to be that, and I know, like, again, he's not the greatest character in the world, but I do want to use characters who, I do want to use, and I always wanted to, like, I always thought Yangxing was, like, a really, really adorable character as well, so, yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I'm okay with that, but also at the same time, I understand if people said you're unlucky, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in that sense. So I think it's very normal for this quest, I think, to come away from this quest feeling very complicated feelings. And I think that, like, I stand by, like, my feelings on the IPC, whereas I think that their methods are very immoral, and it's very bad if one company can control this much in the universe. I don't care what anyone says. It's like, yes, 100%, they saved Belobog originally. They did. Like, and I want to make this clear. Factually so, they saved Belobog. But offering someone a loan in a vulnerable state isn't a gift. That's not a gift. They're going to take that loan. It's like, hey, your people will die, or you basically are in debt to me. Which one do you want? Like, a lot of people are going to be like, okay, I'll choose the debt because I want at least my people to live. It's not really much of a choice. It's the same thing with Topaz's homeworld. And we'll talk about Topaz now in a second and how complicated and interesting of a character they are as well. Topaz wasn't given a choice to work for the IPC, in my opinion. Like, to me, like, I'm not trying to take the agency away from Topaz, right? Because Topaz can probably, like, I don't know if she can quit anytime. I'm not sure. But like, the analogy I would use for the same thing with Belobog and Topaz is like someone's hanging off a cliff. You go over to them. I said this before. You're hanging off a cliff. You reach out a hand and you say, if I help, this is Topaz's homeworld. I will pull you up off this cliff to save you, but only if you choose to, if you give me your month's wages. You know what I mean? That's not like, you can say like, well, yeah, we had an exchange. Yeah, he gave me his month's wages and I pulled him off of a cliff. It's actually a really good choice. It's not really a choice more than it is like, I have to give them my month's wages if I want to live. You know what I mean? But now the analogy changes to like what's happening in Belobog. Now that we know there's a percentage chance that it might actually work, this restoration project from the IPC's perspective, is that like, it's actually a thing where like, Belobog has gotten up off the cliff. They're on their hands and knees taking a breath after just climbing up after what happened with the Celeron. And then the IPC reach out their hand and say, I'll help you move further inland so you don't fall off the cliff, but there's still a chance you might fall off the cliff. You know what I mean? There's still a chance that with my restoration, you could still fall off the cliff. That's what the analogy is now. With Topaz's character with the IPC, it's very clear that she never like really got a choice in life to not work for the IPC because of what happened with her homeworld. And I feel like because of that, her values are very complicated and interesting, and that's what makes her a very interesting character. I think she has a lot of layers to her that are so interesting. There's not a thing where it's like, oh, she's a perfect character, or she's just like pure... she's not even close to being like, oh, this is a pure evil character, or this is a pure angel character. This is a character that like very much has like a complicated outlook on everything in life. They really do. And it's an interesting character to follow along. Like, I was kind of like on the edge of my seat, like wondering what they're going to do next, wondering what they're going to say next in every single moment. Topaz is a character who clearly feels like I want to be a part of the IPC because I feel like that's the best way I could save other planets through restoration projects. 80% success rate. If I can do this, then I can have the same thing that happened to my people where they can live and prosper in some way. Now, the issue with that, as we said, is that you're taking away people's freedom. And like Natasha said, taking away people's freedom in exchange for security, which isn't a fantastic thing. Because as Natasha said, if you take away your freedom for security, that means at any moment, at any time, those people can take away your security and your freedom. There's no doubt about this. There's no doubt in my mind that they can do that and probably would do that at some point as well if they needed to. Because Topaz admitted herself, she said it earlier, this is a strategic reclaiming of a loan. This isn't a thing where it's like, oh, it's just business. It's not just business. This is strategic. They're doing this because they need something on Belobog. It's probably the Geomaro stuff. It's probably like gutting it for all its money. And Topaz, interesting enough, wanted to make sure that that Belobog was seen as having value without it being gutted and without people getting hurt. And that's what makes it so interesting, because she works for the IPC, the IPC's values clearly are that of like, gut this place, don't care what happens to this planet. The planet isn't a homeland, it's an asset. And Topaz has this weird view where it's like, well, if I'm working for the IPC and I'm doing my job, I'm going to show them that it's valuable as it is, and that people can still work and people can still do this, and but they'll still have to belong to the IPC, which again is what makes her view so complicated. Because it's like, yeah, that's actually like an interesting way to look at it. Because no matter what, the IPC has their claws in Belobog, no matter what, and no matter what, they're not going to take it out of it. I think the IPC, the way they've sold this organization, is that they will never, once they have their claws in something, getting their grip out of it is going to be really difficult. So Topaz's perspective was like, well, I know they're never going to leave you alone, so at least maybe I can show them that there's some value. And in the end, then Topaz decided to show them that like, maybe there could be like some sort of payment plan, which again, I disagree with even paying that loan. That loan is silly to me. The idea of the loan being a loan that is 700 years in the making, and it is 100%, I do not care what anyone says. You could travel to Belobog, but the people of Belobog did not know there was even like a place outside of Belobog for years. How are they supposed to pay a freaking loan if they don't know about a place outside of this place? If you null a loan because you think people are dead, and then you find out that they were suffering for years, and you come back and add interest onto the loan, that's just 100% immoral. It's disgusting. There's no way of looking at it. There's no other way of looking at it. And again, I know Topaz is just important and imparting the rules. I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying like Topaz is absolutely amazing like what she does. I think what makes her so interesting as a character is because like aspects of her character and the way she talks about things are very weird and interesting in the lens of like an IPC agent. As I said, a character who like clearly has the best interests of a lot of people in mind, but still works for the IPC because they still have that's all they've known. That's all they've known for years. It's like the IPC values and that thing. They know the IPC in and out. But in the end, of course, they decided to like get a demotion for their helping, I guess, of our characters as well. Yeah, like my opinions on this are basically like the IPC is very immoral. Like what they do is disgusting what they do. Topaz is a character that's super interesting and complicated and has very, very interesting values. She kind of like tried to like impart her feelings on what happened to her people onto Belobog, but again, then she kind of realized, oh, we didn't have a Bronya. We didn't have someone like this to lead us through these dark times. I think it's such a beautiful moment to realize Bronya is fantastic. All these people are working so hard to rebuild this place. But yeah, my thoughts on the IPC. If the IPC controls so much of the economy that if they stop taking reclaiming loans, that the whole economy will shut down, then that's a bad part of the economy. That means there's something wrong with the system. It is 100% bad. If they can control so much and are so terrifying, and to the point that like even the Astral Express at points where like I don't want to make an enemy of the IPC, then that is like a bad thing. Topaz as a character is super, super interesting. A complicated character who like doesn't have perfect morals. Let's be honest here, doesn't have perfect morals, but looks at things weirdly through the lens of like the IPC while also trying to like have some people's best interests in mind. Super interesting aspects to that too. I genuinely think that like we're not done with the IPC. We're not done with the IPC, and we had that tease at the end with like Aventurine and Topaz as well. Yeah, I find all of the IPC stuff so interesting and so varied, and actually like makes it like very complicated. And I think the complicated aspects of the IPC stuff makes it good. It's like I'm not supposed to sit here. Well, it's not what you're supposed to, but like it's normal to sit here and be like F the IPC. I don't agree with Topaz's methods fully, but I think that like, you know, eventually at some point she might come to terms with the fact of like what the IPC is. And I think even in this episode, like you saw, she was just like, Jesus, man, I kind of have to like give it up to Belobog here. I have to. But yeah, another complicated character. I thought this quest in general was like so interesting. I thought it was beautiful how March like got her new dress and like she was coming to like a festival. I love how like they hyped up how like how important Himeko is even to the IPC. The IPC was shown to be like absolutely terrifying in a lot of aspects too. And that's also like gonna be important, I say, for later too. Also, if people are that afraid of the IPC, very beautiful moments, very scary moments. It's one of those situations where we're gonna learn, I think, about Honkai is that like not, you know, things are gonna be like so complicated and horrible. And again, I want to make sure, like for me, the complicated aspect is more of like Topaz and her character. I don't think that it's a complicated feeling for me. I know for sure how I feel about like the loan. Like I wouldn't pay it. You know me. I'm like, let's not pay it. I know people can say, well, if you don't pay, you're gonna get killed. Okay, yeah, I understand that. I'm not stupid, right? But like, still, I disagree with the law on a moral level. I disagree with the IPC's actions, like coming into this place, and they were gutting it. They were in the process of gutting the geomar mine and hurting people. They were doing that, factually so. This is not me like inferring. Those people, the IPC members, until Topaz stopped them, were going in and gutting the geomar place and terrifying people in there in the geomar mine. This was happening. They were and again, like Topaz as well. That's why it makes her such interesting characters. Like, yes, at some points it's like she cares about people in such a way, but then also will like turn the robots against her powered and like will fight people in order to get her her point across. There's all this stuff like the day to like deliberate whether a loan they should sign over Belobog to someone. That is crazy. And again, I know that's because Topaz is coming from the values of the IPC. The IPC probably told her, you make them sign this within a day. You do this within a day, and that's what you have to do. That debate should have been months for people. It should have been a vote. It should have been a referendum. It should have been this decision. Again, you put the trust in Bronya, that's fantastic, but it should have been a months of debating, and that shows how like the IPC operate clearly as well. The fact that they didn't want this to last for more than a day shows that they didn't want the success rate to be known. They didn't want any of this to be known, right? And I think through Topaz's eyes, they probably thought to themselves, well, again, my planet was saved, and I have an 80% success rate, so please, like, do this to me. But then I think she realized that not every planet is the same, not every situation is the same. Yeah, very interesting quests. You guys know my feelings on the IPC. You guys know my feeling on Topaz. I think it's a very, like, interesting story with, like, a lot of complicated themes to it as well. And I think we're going to be having a lot more of these feelings, too. I love the way that Stella March here were so willing to help, as always, with Bronya too. I love the way we got to see some old characters at the same time and have people's feelings. I love that, like, they didn't shy away from having characters we love, like, disagree with us as well. Like, and some people might agree with them, and some people might disagree with them. Like, Serval, for example, like saying, and Pela, for example, I wasn't totally on board with their feelings, but I understood where they were coming from. I vibed the most with Natasha. Natasha's opinions, I think, were, like, so... like true to me, which is the idea of like taking away someone's freedom takes away their security. 100% true to me. So like I was definitely like on board with that the most, I think, out of all the opinions as well. I love how they showed a soldier, because after they died for years, and they did, like Shepard said, those soldiers died on the front line for Belobog for years, and now they're told basically you're going to be subservient to someone else. The crux of this story is, for me, before I go, is that I think that no company should own a country. No one who is like not from a country should come in and take over a country. No one should come in and redesign a country or a planet that is not yours whatsoever. It should not happen. And I'm glad that at the very least we're able to fight back against it in some way and make sure that Belobog is not owned by the IPC, because that would have been a horrible situation. No one should own a country like that. No one should take over a country like that. That's just how I feel about that. And I'm also interested, hopefully, to see Topaz again. Like, I really want to see like how Topaz develops. Topaz's opinions over time, because right now, like I said, Topaz is such an interesting character that I think it's going to be even more interesting to see them down the line also at the same time. Yeah, 100%. As I said, they are someone who just like grew up with the IPC values and don't know anything about the IPC values, if that makes sense. But they've instilled their own good values, I think, within it. There's a good in there, you know what I mean? There's like we talked about this like in the quest. We were like kind of like willing around. We're like, oh my god, come on, you're so close. There are aspects of Topaz that is like, that are really, really good. I think like with Topaz, what's gonna happen with what happens with Topaz is that yes, they try to instill like the IPC values through a filter, I think, because that's all they know, and they're trying to make the best of the IPC values that they can, but they're always so close to like having like this like revelation about like, oh, that's not great, that's not good, that's not good. And even there, when they saw that Bronya was being such a good leader, I think they finally realized, I can't instill my values and my past onto other people. You can have a relatability 100%, like 100%, but the situation is a little bit different from what happened with her town, her country, where basically like they were gonna die no matter what. Guys, I'm gonna go now because I feel like I've been talking for too long anyway. It's a very complicated story, but I want to say thank you so much to Never Gonna Pay the Baby Gangster on Patreon for being so awesome and being so cool and being so amazing and stuff like this. And I will say thank you to Typhar2, JB Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Raj, Shanusta, Death Traveling Smarky, The Assassin, Trubino Butter, Peter Shelson, Heck, Leon, Hike Asparagus, Jared Beanham, at the High Streamer YouTube, Oleg, Serval, and Blasco. I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.